In the vast indifference of the Atlantic, the Proteus stood as a temporary island of human intent.
300 miles from land, her deck was a landscape of machinery, poised for a descent into the abyss.
The crew moved in synchronized silence, a ritual performed on the border between air and crushing depth. In this realm, light was a language. Their intrusion sparked conversations in flashes of blue and green.
The pressure mounted with mathematical cruelty. The hull spoke in groans, a constant reminder of the force outside.
They witnessed life built for eternity. A siphonopher, a fragile, jeweled necklace in the void.
Rodriguez navigated by sound maps painted from the surface. The abyssal plane was rising to meet them. Webb brought them to a hover. The silence was total, broken only by the hum of their own life support. The search began, a methodical grid scanned by light and sonar across a plane that hid its secrets well. Life persisted here, specialized and strange, thriving on the scant nutrients that fell from a world away.
There, a mound. The texture is wrong.
After an hour, Rodriguez saw it. A subtle irregularity in the seafloor's perfect monotony.
As they neared, the lights revealed angles, right angles, geometry that nature does not make. The manipulator arm reached out, a mechanical hand to touch history. Sediment bloomed in a slow-motion cloud.
Beneath the growth, metal, iron straps, a hinge, human craftsmanship, preserved by the very cold that sought to destroy it.
Rodriguez placed a beacon.
Proteus, this is Abyssal 1. Site confirmed. Multiple chests. Commencing documentation.
On the surface, the team watched the video feed. The abstract sonar return was now an undeniable, tangible reality.
The work was painstaking, threading harnesses in near zero visibility, fighting the stubborn grip of centuries-old sediment.
After hours, the harness was locked. The chest was now bound to human technology, ready for its journey home.
Proteus, harness secure. You are clear to send down the lift cable.
The authorization was given. The most delicate part of the operation was about to begin.
Inside the sphere, they waited. There was nothing to do but watch and trust the engineering above.
Then, the terminus appeared, descending through the beam of their lights like an angel from a forgotten heaven. Webb guided the connection, a mating of giants, performed with the delicacy of a watchmaker.
A definitive clunk echoed through the hull. The link was made. The abyss had lost its grip.
Connection confirmed. Proteus, you may begin the lift. Slow and steady.
The cable tensed. Centuries of inertia held firm, then yielded.
And then it was rising, lifted from its tomb of ooze, beginning the 4-mile journey back to light. They retraced their descent in reverse. Darkness gave way to fleeting light shows, then to the faintest memory of the sun. Sphere broke the surface into a world of violent color and air. The return was jarring, triumphant. The Proteus recovered her child, lifting the submersible back to the familiar steel of the deck.
Chen emerged first, breathing deep the salt air, feeling the solid deck beneath her boots. They were home.
No one went below. They would witness the finale. The chest was still climbing toward them.
Night fell. The deck became a theater, the crew the audience, all waiting for the star to emerge.
Then, the ocean yielded its secret. A dark shape breached.
Suspended in the air, it was transformed. No longer a deep-sea ghost, but a physical, heavy piece of the past. It settled onto the deck with a weight that echoed through the ship. A sound of finality. Of success. And then, silence. The crew simply stared. 3 centuries, bridged by steel cable and human will. For Rodriguez, it was not treasure, but a text. A book written in corrosion and pressure, waiting to be read. The next morning, in the ship's lab, the chest began its transformation from artifact to evidence. Rodriguez documented every inch. Photography, measurements, a digital twin created before any physical intervention.
The cleaning began with tenderness. Soft brushes and water, washing away the most recent centuries first.
It was a process of days. Shift after shift, the biological concrete of the deep was patiently removed.
They used tools of dentists and surgeons, treating the chest as a patient recovering from a long, deep coma. Every flake was saved. The encrustation itself held a history of the deep-sea environment that had guarded the chest. Its dimensions were recorded. A specific volume, crafted to hold specific hopes and wealth from a vanished world. They would not open it at sea, but they could peer inside. The ship's X-ray would reveal shadows of the contents.
The screen glowed with ghosts, rows of circular shadows, coins, dense ingots below.
For Chen, this was a point on a graph. A success, but one that came with the obligation to continue.
Webb saw the connection her hands had made, through machines, across miles of water. A physical link to an impossible task made routine.
Then Rodriguez reached out. Not to take, but to touch. To feel the cold permanence of an object that had outlasted empires.
The silence held. No words were needed. The chest spoke in the language of survived centuries, of patience, of return. Outside, the Atlantic stretched away, holding countless other stories in its deep, patient heart. The Proteus was a temporary intrusion, a speck of heat and light on a cold, old ocean. The nod was a transition. The artifact was secure, documented. The first chapter of its new story was written. The team filtered out, carrying the quiet triumph with them. The chest was left in its pool of light, finally still. Its contents would wait a while longer, patient as they had been for centuries, for the right hands on land to reveal them.
With dawn came the rhythm of the mission. The first chest was a proof of concept. Now, the real work began.
Preservation was a race against time. Exposure to air began new chemical reactions that had to be slowed. The second descent felt different, familiar, yet no less profound. The abyss was no longer an unknown.
They returned to the silent garden of chests. The beacon's steady pulse was a welcome sign in the eternal dark.
The next target was more stubborn. Centuries of sediment had claimed it more completely.
They employed new tools, a gentle vacuum to clear the ooze without stirring a blinding cloud.
It was archaeology at 4,000 meters. Each layer revealed slowly, with reverence for the context. Muscle memory set in. The team moved with a quiet synchronicity, born of shared success and shared risk.
The second retrieval was cleaner, faster, a testament to learning, even here, at the edge of human endeavor.
Days blurred into a cycle of descent, recovery, and preservation. The Proteus fell into a deep ocean rhythm,
The lab was filling up. Each chest had its own personality, its own pattern of decay and preservation. Small differences told stories. A better-made lock, thicker iron, hints about the relative value assigned centuries ago.
Number 5 is under that overhang. Tricky.
Even meals were mission briefings. The challenges evolved. Topography, currents, fragile artifacts.
The fifth chest posed a new problem: geology. It lay sheltered and threatened by a rocky lip.
Webb piloted with a dancer's precision. Millimeters mattered when a rock wall could crush a manipulator arm.
The first touch was critical. The environment was fragile. A collapse could bury the chest or their equipment.
Easy. Now slide the strap under the far corner.
We have the articulated gripper. Can we use it as a hook and lift from one side first?
They improvised. A direct lift, one-sided, to pop the chest free from its rocky cradle before full harnessing.
It worked. The chest swung into open water, a precarious pendulum of history saved from a geological trap.
With the obstacle gone, routine resumed. The harness was completed, the connection made. Another win.
On the surface, each victory was shared. A tense hour in the abyss was a collective breath held above. Chest 5 was different. Less metal, more organic material, preserved by the unique chemistry of its rocky tomb.
Look, the wood. We have actual hull timber here, maybe from the ship itself.
The cold, anoxic water had pickled the wood. It held a cellular memory of the tree it came from.
The final chest. The last thread connecting the Proteus to this patch of abyssal plain. The primary mission was complete. No grand celebration, but a deep, communal exhaustion. 6 iron boxes containing...
The Proteus had fulfilled her purpose. Her deck, once a stage for frantic activity, now held the fruits of that labor.
Rodriguez took her final inventory. Each chest a unique key to the past, a puzzle box for historians to unlock on land.
Chen closed the log. The data was filed, the artifacts secured, the weight of command lifted, replaced by the weight of success.
The collective exhale. The crew, a temporary society bound by extreme work, allowed themselves to be just people again.
Stories surfaced. The strange creatures seen, the tense moments, the dark humor that gets you through the pressure.
They'll want to know the monetary value, the coins, the silver.
We know the real value. It's in the wood grain, the tool marks, the ship's name we might yet find.
Chen's reply was firm. They had recovered time.
With dawn came departure. The coordinates of the site were logged. The seafloor left to its eternal silence. They left a patch of disturbed sediment that would settle in months. The abyss would forget their visit.
The final act of care, packaging, preparing the past for its journey into the future, into laboratories and museums.
Each was labeled, not with a treasure inventory, but with an archaeological designation. Science over spectacle. The first transfer. Some chests would fly ahead, their analysis beginning before the ship even made port. The physical connection to the mission was broken. The artifacts began their new life. Webb said his goodbye to the machine that had been their lifeline, a trust forged in absolute darkness.
The world they had let behind returned. The solid, noisy, crowded world. It felt alien and welcoming.
The Proteus returned, not with fanfare, but with the quiet dignity of a job done to the highest standard.
Rodriguez oversaw the transfer with a scholar's protective intensity. Her stewardship continued until the last moment.
Their lives resumed, but were forever marked. The abyss had changed them, given them a story that would inform their every future step.
And the chests? They found their home, not in vaults, but in museums, under glass, for all to see.
They became teachers, sparking curiosity in children, providing data for scholars, connecting the present to a distant past. Some secrets were left intact, the lock unpicked, inviting wonder. What exactly is inside? The mystery itself has value.
And the ocean? It remained, unchanged, unmoved, holding its depth.
From space, the effort was invisible. A human drama of retrieval, condensed to nothing against planetary scale. But significance isn't measured by scale. It's measured by patience, precision, and the refusal to let history be erased.
The weight of centuries had been lifted, and in its place, we left only understanding.
The first coin. Centuries of sulfide staining couldn't hide the royal stamp, the mark of a Spanish mint, 1742.
This small disc was a time machine. It had been in a pocket, a purse, a strongbox when the storm hit.
Each artifact underwent interrogation. Metal composition, wood origin, ceramic glaze, each data point fleshed out the ghost convoy.
Rodriguez cross-referenced the find. The scatter pattern of chests told a story of the ship's final moments, its breakup in the storm.
The data allowed a reconstruction, not of treasure, but of tragedy. A crew, a voyage, swallowed by a furious Atlantic.
Chen shared the methodology. The focus was on the how, not the what. A blueprint for future deep-sea archaeology.
The fear is a tool. It keeps you sharp. Respect the depth, but don't let it paralyze you. The ocean rewards clarity. The breakthrough. A name. From a dusty ledger in a coastal town that had long mourned the lost ship.
La Fortuna. The irony. The name gave souls to the wreck. It was no longer an anonymous cargo haul.
What's the deepest you've been?
4,216 meters. It's very quiet there.
He remembered the silence. Not an empty silence, but a full one, pregnant with the weight of the water column above.
At night, the museum was a temple. The artifacts slept, their journey from
Even for a casual observer, the object exerted a pull. It spoke of journeys, loss, and improbable return.
For Chen, peace was now found in stillness. The memory of the heaving deck was a ghost in her muscles.
The sounds of the deep never fully left her. They lived in her subconscious, a foundational base note to her life.
The science went microscopic. A scrap of leather could reveal trade routes, animal husbandry practices of the 18th century.
Each artifact was a node in a vast, historical network. Recovery was just the beginning of understanding.
For Rodriguez, the narrative was the treasure. She had helped resurrect a forgotten story, piece by piece.
She had become the elder stateswoman. Her calm, forged in the abyss, would steady younger teams facing their own voids.
See, the questions never end. The ocean's depths still hold millions of secrets. The human urge...
Every descent is a first descent. Every team rediscovers the profound isolation and beauty of the deep.
The ripple effect. Inspiration, education, ongoing exploration. The weight of centuries had been converted.
Because for every mystery solved, a new anomaly appears on a sonar screen. A new whisper from the deep.
And the coin? It sits in silent testimony. Not of wealth, but of resilience.
It asks no questions, gives no answers. It simply is.
The ocean keeps his peace. It wielded 6 chests, a story, and profound knowledge. It has millions more to give.
We don't find history. We meet it halfway. It rises, and we reach down.
She saw in them the same spark that had drawn her to the deep. The next generation of askers, of reachers.
Webb's expertise was sought on land. The principles were the same. Understand the environment, respect its power.
The wind here spoke of surface storms. His mind went deeper, to the slow, cold currents far.
Chen's work became meta, using historical records of the ocean to understand the ocean's own history, its changing climate.
The past held clues to oceanic behavior. A whaler's terror was a data point on ancient storm intensity.
The engineering race continued. New materials, inspired by the limits tested on missions like the Proteus.
Rodriguez completed the circle. She brought the name home, offering it to the descendants of the port that had mourned.
Mi familia siempre hablaba de un barco que nunca regresó.
The experience was democratized. Students could now dive to the site, a tool for education and inspiration.
Thanks. It was a simulation, but the sense of scale, of isolation, was faithfully rendered.
The Proteus herself was not retired. She was upgraded, her purpose evolving from recovery to long-term observation.
Her history was honored, but not clung to. She was a tool, and tools are meant for the next job.
Chen codified the knowledge, turning hard-won experience into a manual, so others wouldn't have to learn through near disaster.
The ultimate goal, understanding the ocean as a whole, living system. Each mission, each recovery fed this greater model.
The ship was now a sentinel. Her work recovering the past now contributed to predicting the future.
The frontier expanded, from historical recovery to the origins of life itself in the planet's most extreme environments.
The lessons of care learned on the chest site were applied here. Tread lightly.
We live on an ocean planet. We know its surface, but its heart is deep, dark, and cold.
To descend into the abyss is to look inward, into our planet's memory, and in doing so,
the weight of centuries is not a burden. It is an invitation to listen.
And so it continues, the dialogue, the patient, stubborn, glorious human conversation with the deep.
The end.